We are back. I got this new soundboard, guys. I am so stoked. Actually, it's not new. I've been using it every single podcast episode, but I just didn't know that I could do this. So, congratulations to me. Anyways, we're back. We're back with Ryan Virga, the man, the myth, the legend, freaking killer in branding, killer in marketing. Thank you again for gracing us with your presence.
Thanks for having me, man.
I'm gonna be honest. We had a bunch of questions from last week's podcast.
Cool.
And a bunch of people were reaching out, talking and asking me about websites. And they were saying they were looking at building their own website. So I wanted to make an episode. I don't care how long it is, how short it is. I want to know the basics of a successful website.
Basics of a successful website. Awesome. So we're saying that we've got branding down. We figured out who we are. We know our targeted market. We've built a website, and we want to just make sure we're hitting all the check boxes.
Yes.
Right?
Let's start with why a website. Like, why do we need a website? This should be obvious, but let's break it down. Why do we need a website?
We said this before. It's the first thing that people look at when they look at you, right? It's the first thing that they look up on Google when they hear your name and hear about your business. It's the first thing that they're going to click on, right? That's your website. That should define who you are and what your business is about, right? So this is extremely important to have. It generates sales. It helps you better understand your target market. And it gives you a lot of data and feedback. You can, put your leads up there. You can showcase like your team, your values, what you've been up to. You can create a blog on a website. There's just so many benefits of having a website. It's always dynamic. So you can, have it on your phone, to a laptop, to,
your tablet.
Yeah. But like you can keep it updating it. And it's never one thing that needs to stay stagnant. And if it is stagnant, you're doing something wrong.
Killer. Okay. So now what are the basics of a good website? Like if I had to make a list of X, Y, Z, these three things or these 5 things, what would they be?
Yeah, actually a lot of people come to us specifically to see what's wrong with their website and why they aren't getting traction. And it always comes down to, we've said last time, you have a user's engagement, their full focus from like 3 to 6 seconds, and that includes loading time. So if your site doesn't load quick in under a second, that's a negative already, right? So you need to make sure you can there's plugins for this. Maybe your website's out of date. There's a few issues that you can go into to make sure that's faster. But a lot of things that a lot of people aren't doing correctly, and the reason why a lot of people leave their site and they lose a lot of traffic is because they aren't clearly stating who they are, what they're doing, and what is the goal of them being here within the first, what we call like the fold of the website. So that means when you're on your desktop, your screen is the very bottom of your screen is the fold. So that means they haven't even scrolled, right? So everything above that in that viewport, we say, right, from your mobile device to a desktop, you need to be clearly stating what you are, who you are, and what you do, and why they're there, right? So a lot of people say, "Hi, I'm Joe Smo," and like that's it. Or they have a really cool, crazy image, or maybe it's just like an image of a house or something, and you're like, oh,
you lost them.
Yeah, like what is this? Like, where are we going? Or it's super janky and old, and the colors are all off, and they're throwing a bunch of too much stuff above the fold. They're like, "Hi, I'm in real estate. This is what we can do. We can help you sell a house. We can buy a house right here." We call them CTAs, right? So it's basically your buttons, and it leads them to the next point of your page. Maybe they'll have like 50 buttons on their page, and there's too much. So there is like overloading, right? The fold. So you need to have the right balance, and you need to make it extremely easy for someone to understand what the next step is, right? If you have a really nice, well built out page where everything feels even, we have the hierarchy correct with like, let's just say, we have a nice image and we have a good header type, and it welcomes you to the site, welcome to Joe Schmo Real Estate Agency, brokerage, whatever.
Yeah.
If you have a CTA there, it's like, do you want to see my listings? Do you want to learn more about the team? What is the key focus of them coming to your site? Are you bringing them to a listing? Are you trying to get them to a listing appointment? Are we trying to just have them better understand you and yourself or your team, right? So what is the goal? What is your homepage? What is the goal for them to come to the website?
I love that.
And
I actually love that right there, because this is, I think, where a lot of agents get caught. A lot of agents are like, well, the goal is for them to buy, sell, also like refer us. It's all this stuff, but like the reality is like you need to break it down to like, if your goal is, hey, look, when they come to my website, I want them to search for properties on my website. Like, you're competing with Zillow and Redfin and Realtor.com. Like, honestly, do you have that much money?
Yeah, are you going to do better than their billions of dollars of spending?
Like, it's just not going to happen, right? So like, when we're building a real estate website on that side of things, like I love that we sit there and we say like, hey, here's from number 1 to number 10 of why they're coming to our website.
Exactly.
And number 1 should be the first thing that they see.
Exactly. And here's the key thing too. I know it sounds a bit crazy to think about. It shouldn't take more than 3 clicks to get where you want them to do, right? You can have 10 different things, but if it takes me 10 clicks, they're never going to get there, right? If you have above the fold, let's say in your hero, which is the top image, that's what they call it, right? And a CTA is your button. And you say you want them to learn more about the team, or they want to, talk to you about a listing. You have those 2 buttons right there. That should be immediate. You should take them immediately to a place where it's extremely quick and easy and reliable, right? Because like it should be not sketchy looking, nothing that seems like you're going to steal their personal information, and look secure, right? Immediately, right? It shouldn't be like, okay, and like actually at the very top of this page, I'm going to tell you more about myself and my team and who we are. They want to get there as quickly as possible. Make it extremely easy. White space is good space. People think that they need to just cram a bunch of stuff on a website, but really you need to let it breathe. If I were like this close to your face,
like
that's just too much. If I'm just gonna be throwing a bunch of stuff like, hey, buy this, look at this, whatever, blah, 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 it comes off scammy, it comes off untrustworthy, right? And these are obviously the things we do not want as an agent, because let's be honest, agents can come off untrustworthy, right? They just want the sale, they just want the money. That shouldn't be you. It should be like, I'm here to show a nice aesthetic. I'm here to get the, learn more about you, right? We're not going to keep your information.
Why you?
Why you? Exactly. And we want to make sure the site feels welcoming. It should be easy. And to make that, for one, to make it feel welcoming, we have to worry about how's the page laid out, right? Are you going to be a one-pager, which means you have all your information on one page, which is great, right? You can have these side links of about me, a homepage,
where it scrolls down.
And you can hyperlink that. It'd be great. You can do a very good website all on one page. You can have multiple pages depending on, like, again, what you've defined as your goal for your website. The key thing is that I'll say and say again, as long as this looks good on your phone, this is extremely key, right? You need to make sure whoever is designing your site, it looks amazing on your phone. It loads perfectly on your phone. I'd almost say like it almost should look better on your phone than it does on website, because Google's going to rank you higher based on the design of your phone, right? We talked about ADA, which is accessibility, right? So we want to make sure there's plugins for accessibility. By the way, you can look into these plugins, right? We already checked off the box that it looks good mobily, right? So now we're going to talk about SEO. Are you using keywords, right? Are you writing in your paragraphs and your headers key words that people are going to be searching on Google? Because if you are doing that, you will be higher in the rankings. There's also plugins to make your SEO, search engine optimization. It's what basically when you type in your name or something relative to what you are doing with your business, you should be one of the top people on at least the first page of Google. And if you're doing it correctly, you're the top link, right? So the best thing about SEO and the funniest thing about SEO is people pay thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars for SEO. You can do it in your website for free.
Yeah.
And this is crazy. It's mind-blowing. A lot of, people back in the day, like, oh, I paid $10,000 for SEO, like keyword search stuff, blah, 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 blah. Dude, if you have WordPress, you literally can I think actually Wix Square might be doing it now too, but you can type in keywords in your pages already for free, which is a great like money-saving tip. I mean, you need to know the right keywords, But there's a ton of really great plugins that help do this for you. And that's going to be extremely helpful. It's going to help save you money.
Yeah.
And you should ask whoever's building your website, is this website going to have SEO already built in it? And the answer is yes, it should, unless they're building some crazy, I don't know
or
why.
Or they're trying to upcharge.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just something to be aware of that, it's really easy to do on your website and Google will pull from it,
So now we got, hey, it's got to be, you've got to know what they're doing. You got the SEO down. What other basics should we know for a successful website? Is there anything else that like, I'm building my site today, I'm going to spend hours and hours today, that I'm going to just start from midnight to midnight every single day? What should I be doing? What other things should I do for my site?
Okay, so I think there's two last points here. One is make it visually interesting. If you have a lot of copy,
copy meaning text.
Text, correct.
Yes.
Correct. So if you're throwing down paragraphs, not a single person is going to read past the one. Honestly, I see a paragraph, I go, oh, cool. What's the headline say? Got it. Move on. Be very short, sweet, and to the point. Keep it simple, stupid is what we say, right? The goal is, if you're, think about social medias. It's so heavy imagery, so heavy video, like the content is king, right? So when you're building a website, make it visually interesting. First things first, have good photography, have a good video, icons, design elements, illustrations, charts, whatever you're doing. It shouldn't be cheesy. It shouldn't be stock-like. It should be authentic, unique. And the less copy, I honestly would say, the better. Make sure it's extremely necessary when you're thinking about it. Are you talking about yourself and you're going on for like 4 paragraphs about your experience and who you are and what you like to do, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? Like, no, I mean, it's great. You should go tell them that in person. Get straight to the point. Where do you want them to go, right? So
we're talking about quickest conversion.
Exactly. So that's the next point. Okay, where do you want them to go? Well, they've made it to your site. You've got them to this point. How quickly can you convert them, right? So the goal is to get them to convert. How can you get their information, right? Which is something in a plugin on a website that you can have to see where their drop-off rates are. So note that's something you can
also a lot of CRMs and everything. You can actually do plugins for your website so that you could track who's coming on, coming off.
Exactly.
And then you can retarget them
exactly.
as well.
One of the things that a lot of people do that's a big mistake is you have a pop-up. Give us your email and blah, 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 blah. That's spammy. There's some plugins that at least like, hey, you've made it to this point in your site. You seem interested. Like, you want to give us your email, right? And make it seem genuine and nice and like, or you just have it at the bottom of your page and like, let's connect. Let's get an email. Let's sign up for our emailing list or our blog, or let's reach out. There's a bunch of different ways. Look at your competition. Look who's been doing it best, not just real estate, but clothing companies, jewelry people that are in the market of selling.
Yeah.
Go check out on how they get and where that's located on their page and how they're doing it. And use that as inspiration, right? Everybody's already done this correctly, right? You're not going to invent something new on your website that no one's ever thought of. So use that inspiration and pull it into your website and get them to convert.
Dude, love it, love it, love it. It's the basics of a successful website. I appreciate your time again. Look forward to having you on next week again. Thank you, Ryan. Tell them where to find you.
Nativefocus.com, native-focus. Love to help you out.